No, and then they got Tank. How the hell is Tank a pound for pound? He ain't faced nobody.
Teofimo coming off one of the biggest wins in his career against the undisputed champion Josh Taylor. He came out and he said he retired. He don't want nothing else to do with fighting inside of the ring. He loves boxing. He still will have a lot to do with boxing. It just won't be inside that square circle. Now, T.O., after that, man, he started doing a bunch of interviews, and I was looking at this dude like, okay, if you retired, why are you popping up doing all type of interviews? You know what I'm saying? You had all these boxing events doing all type of interviews. You going all over to these big platforms doing interview after interview after interview. If you gonna retire, just go ahead and retire, man. What is you doing, a farewell tour at the age of 25? Like, you know what I'm talking about? This man acting like he Manny Pacquiao or something. You know what I'm talking about? Like, he done had a 30-year career, and now he got to do a farewell tour. So, man, the whole time I was looking at that shit suspicious anyway, because like everybody else was, like, man, this dude ain't about to retire. Coming off the biggest win, you know, some would say the biggest win in his career is between that fight and Vasil Lomachenko, and a lot of people would say the toughest win in his career. So coming off a win like that at the age of 25, you're not gonna just retire like that. And that's how a lot of people feel about the situation. But with all that being said, Teofimo Lopez, he did another interview. With all that being said, one of the interviews that Teofimo did, he started talking about Tank. And of course, he didn't have nothing good to say about Tank. And it really seemed like they struck some type of nerve in T.O. when they started calling Tank pound for pound. And it was like, pound for pound? How the hell is he pound for pound? He ain't fought nobody. And I'm going to play you the clip. And, you know, you got people that feel like that about Gervonta Davis because he's never fought the top competition in whatever weight division he been in. You know what I'm saying? Somehow, however things play out, Tank has always found his way around the top competition in his weight class. A lot of times it's because that other fighter, whoever it may be at the time, might not be under the same promotional banner that he's fighting under. Also, we know when he was signed under Floyd Mayweather and Leonard Ellaby, they weren't trying to put Gervonta Davis in with no tough competition at all. I mean, we got a plan for Tank. You know, they had the plan for Tank. They had the blueprint for Tank. And we saw it pretty much play out when he got in the ring with Ryan Garcia. Now, I'm not shitting on Tank and I'm not saying nothing bad about Tank. I'm just saying everybody saw how the blueprint was playing out when he was over there with TMT Promotions. You know what I'm talking about? It is what it is. That don't mean that Gervonta Davis ain't no great fighter. That don't mean that Tank Davis haven't done great things in his career. But he haven't fought the best of the best. It is what it is. And so Teofimo, he wanted to point that out because one thing I can say about Teofimo is his resume is above all of the rest of them. You know what I'm talking about? They said they had the 4 kings of the 135-pound division and all that. Well, Teofimo Lopez, man, he got the best resume out of all of them. It ain't no arguing that. You know what I'm saying? If anybody gonna try to argue that, you need to just shut the hell up. Real talk. And I'm not a Teofimo Lopez fan at all. But, you know, you got to keep it real. You got to keep it 100. But with all that being said, Teofimo Lopez going on his farewell retirement tour, he says that it's one thing that'll bring him out of retirement. One thing. And he says that one thing is Gervonta Davis. They got to put Gervonta Davis in the contract. So they got to give him a contract with a lucrative amount of money. And within that contract, he has to be promised a Gervonta Davis fight. I'm going to let y'all hear exactly what T.O. had to say, and then I'm going to get back to this video and let y'all know how I feel about the situation.
I know, and then they got Tank. How the hell is Tank a pound for pound? He ain't faced nobody.
He's some solid guys.
What, me and Tank?
Yeah. There we go. You and Tank fight.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Come on.
It's got to be.
The check gotta be right.
He has to be in the mix, then yeah. He has to be in the mix of my contract if that comes to play.
T.O. does.
He has to be in the mix of my contract if that comes to play.
T.O. does.
He has to be in the mix of my contract if that comes to play.
T.O. does.
Tank Davis got to be in the mix of my contract. Tank Davis got to be in my contract. The fight with Tank got to be in my contract in order for me to come back out of retirement. Now, we all know that he ain't retired, but I also did another video and I called T.O. basically reaching out to Al Heyman like he wants Al Heyman to buy him out of his contract with ESPN and Top Rank. So we know what it is. You know what I'm saying? You put 2 to 2 together. He's talking about Tank got to be in the mix of his contract. If he with Top Rank still, or if he with DAZN, obviously Tank can't be in the contract. So he wants to go to the PBC, and then with going to the PBC, he wants them to promise him a Gervonta Davis fight. So no matter what people say about Tank, right, he's done one thing for his career. He is that fighter from 130 all the way to 140 that everybody want a shot at. It is what it is. So whether you say that Tank ain't fought nobody or whether you say he ain't fought the best competition, well, you know, they had that blueprint for him and he didn't did what he's supposed to do with everybody that he's been in the ring with, and everybody wants to fight him, either because maybe they think they can beat him or because of the big payday, the bag, or maybe it might be both. But when it comes to boxing and being a royalty name in boxing, Tank has did what he do. You know what I'm saying? What they say, we gonna do what he do. Well, he didn't do what he do. Real talk. Tank is him. He can fight anybody he want to as long as it ain't no network or promotional issues. You know what I'm talking about? And I think that all fighters want to be able to say that. All fighters want to be the one to be able to say, hey, I'll fight anybody I want to. Ain't nobody going to turn down a fight with me because they want the superstardom and the bag that come with it. And T.O. wants that. T.O. want to be that guy. T.O. feels like, you know, he should be in the position that Gervonta Davis is in. Because T.O. feels like, look, man, I fought the toughest competition. I was on ESPN. I was the one, you know what I'm saying, getting the Budweiser sponsorships and the Disney sponsorships and all of that. I should be the face like Gervonta is. And, you know, some people might agree with it, some people won't. But T.O. had his chance. He was undisputed, you know, right when he beat Vasil Lomachenko, man, his head blew up and he got too big in the head. Just what it is, you know. You can't say that T.O. didn't have a chance. And he dropped the ball. He dropped the ball against a no-name at the time, George Kambosos. See, that's where T.O. went wrong. And from there, it went downhill. But with this Josh Taylor, you know what I'm saying? T.O. dug himself up out of the grave. But instead of continuing on, then he says, I'm retiring. You know what I'm talking about? So one thing that T.O. does, right, he's going to keep his name in the news. Now, as far as a fight between T.O. and Tank, that's a fight I wanted to see years ago. I've always wanted to see that fight. I don't think it's an easy fight for Tank, and it definitely ain't no easy fight for T.O. Now, a lot of people going to say, oh, man, Tank steamrolls him. I don't know about all that. I got Tank winning because I think that T.O., he get hit too much. You know what I'm talking about? But it's still a difficult fight for Tank. And Tank, he get hit a lot also. So ultimately, a fight like that is going to come down to who has the best ring IQ, who's in the better shape, who got the better stamina, you know what I'm saying? Who can utilize their tools and their boxing skills the best, like the jab, you know, the feints, movement. Who can make the best adjustments on that night, and who has the better ring IQ on that night. And also, both of them got explosive power. We know that Tank got the more explosive power, but who can take whose power? It's going to come down to all of that. And like I said, I do favor Tank, but it ain't no easy fight for him. Y'all let me know if y'all would love to see T.O. and Tank get it on. Who y'all got winning that fight? And how do they win? Do you got them winning by knockout? Do you got them winning by the decision? A split decision? How y'all got them winning? Drop a comment in my comment section. Make sure that you hit my like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subbed. Y'all already know how I do. There you go, talking that boxing again, and I'm gone.